2 pounds, 1 bottle of grape juice, some sugar, a pinch of yeast and almost no effort. What you're looking at is real wine. Hi, my name is Pete Rainford and you're watching DIY Brew It Yourself. Today I'm going to show you how to make this 2 pound Asda grape juice into real wine. So let's get started. All you need for this brew is a 1 litre bottle of Asda grape juice, or any grape juice really, so long as it doesn't have any trites or traits as we call them. Ingredients: red grape juice, nothing else. And that's what you need. If you have any nitrates or nitrites or sulfates or anything like that, it will kill off the yeast, so we just need grape juice, nothing else. Right, we also need 80 grams of sugar, which I've weighed out previously, and we need some yeast. Now you can use bread yeast from the shop. This is Young's dried active yeast. It's perfect for this sort of thing. Let's get started. We're actually gonna do this in its own bottle, so you don't need any fancy equipment. All you need is the bottle that the juice came in, or a similar bottle. It doesn't have to be one of these. And like I said before, it doesn't have to be Asda. It can be any shop bought grape juice. It can be white as well. You don't have to use the red one. Right, so we need to remove approximately 100 millilitres of this juice to give some headspace so that we can brew what we're going to brew. In fact, I'm just going to take about 50 millilitres out and see what that does. That's better, because the sugar is going to top that up, so put that to one side and drink it. It is lovely. First off, pour in your 80 grams of sugar. Okay, when you got your sugar added, you can do away with the funnel now. Just put your top back on and give the bottle a good shake. Quite often you get a lot of thick juice in the bottom of the bottle and all the sugar collects there, so we need to mix this up basically. The fun part. Lovely. Okay, then remove the top again. Okay, so now we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. Now, as I said earlier, I'm using Young's dried active yeast. You can use bread yeast, wine yeast, beer yeast, cider yeast, any yeast really. Just a 1/4 teaspoon, that's all we need. Then reseal, put your top back on, and just give it a little swirl, and that yeast should rehydrate and start to go to work. Munch on that lovely sugar and this lovely grape juice, make some nice wine. Over the next week or two, this is going to ferment. Now, in order for it to ferment, it needs to be ideally between 18 and 22 degrees Celsius. Now, in the DIY studio, it's late September and it's already getting cool. I do have a heater in here, but I also have a heating pad which I'm going to put this on so that it will maintain a steady temperature between 18 degrees and 22 degrees over the time it takes to ferment. Now, one important factor which we haven't tackled yet is once yeast begins to consume the sugar in this juice, both in the natural juice and in the sugar that we've added, it will produce carbon dioxide and alcohol. Now, the carbon dioxide is going to make this bottle swell and eventually explode unless we give it a way to escape. So what we're going to do is just ease the top off, squeeze the bottle, and if you can squeeze the bottle, then the top is loose. So that allows, there we go, that allows air to escape, or in this case carbon dioxide, and hopefully it's a tight enough seal that no bugs, fruit flies, bacteria can get in, plus the carbon dioxide escaping once the yeast get to work tend to push anything out anyway. So that's perfect. But please make sure that this top is loose, because if it isn't, you're going to have a problem. So once again, just unscrew it until you can, see that's quite tight, until you can squeeze air out. There we go. That should stop anything nasty getting in. And for now, that's it. I'm going to put this on a heating mat, which will maintain 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. And in a week or two, I'll come back and we'll rack it off this into a clean bottle and we'll give it a taste. Okay, this is the 2 pound Asda grape juice that we fermented. It's been a couple of weeks, although this did finish fermenting within a few days, I noticed, so I could have filmed this part of the video quite a bit ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it out of this bottle into a nice, clean, sanitized wine bottle that I prepared earlier, peeled the labels off, cleaned it with soapy water, and then sanitized it so we get a clean bottle to start with. You could siphon this if you have a siphon. It helps not to disturb that sediment at the bottom, but I'm going to presume that you don't have a siphon, so we're just going to pour it in. And we've got to be careful as we can not to disturb the sediment. I may have already disturbed it just by moving it around, you know. Whoa, that was close. We can leave that little bit in there. There we have our red wine in a bottle with a top. Okay, so I'd like to know how strong this finished for starters, and then I'll have a taste. So this will be a part that you probably haven't got the equipment to, and I'm going to do this for you, so you don't need to do it, but if you want to, by all means, go ahead. Sanitized hydrometer. I'm going to pour enough in here so we can measure a reading. Let's have a little smell. Smells like red wine. Doesn't smell like grape juice anymore. Yeah, that has fermented to dry, 1.000. What that effectively means is that the yeast have consumed all the sugar in this juice and turned it to alcohol and carbon dioxide. So I'll do some calculations now and we'll work out how strong this got to. Our specific gravity at the start of this brew was 1.092, which means we have a wine of just over 12%, which is perfect. So I'm going to get this back into the bottle and then I'm going to grab a glass and we're going to taste this. See what it's like after 2 weeks. I don't think I'd poured very well. Some sediment did get in there, so this would improve again if I let it clear a bit more and let it mature for at least another week or two. But let's give it a taste today and see where we're at. So because I sanitized this, I can pour this back because we don't want to waste this. Okay, we'll pop the top on for a brief second. Okay, let's pour out a glass of this and get it tasted. Okay, moment of truth. Smells young, grapey, fruity. Smells nothing like the original grape juice, of course. It smells like a red wine, almost like a Beaujolais. Wow, that's surprisingly good for a £2 bottle of grape juice. Wow. Okay. Taste-wise, it's dry. It's light-bodied, crisp. It's a little tart, but surprisingly clean, considering this is only 2 weeks old. But for £2 of grape juice and a bit of sugar, that's magnificent. Really, that's a great result. And as early in the day as it is, this isn't going to waste. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tasting this in around a month's time, because I'm going to let this sit in my wine rack, and then I'd hazard a guess, in fact I know that this is going to taste far better once it's aged for a little bit, because it will clear a little bit more, it will settle, it will mature. Yes, it will become a far better wine. Anyway, £2 Asda grape juice, bit of sugar and some yeast. Red wine. In all honesty, it's somewhere in between a light red and a rosé. It would be a lovely drink in the summer, but possibly even chilled, rather than a mouthful of wine. I can't speak. Rather than a room temperature red wine. So that's the £2 Asda grape juice red wine, and proof that you don't need expensive equipment to make a nice wine. Something enjoyable and a sense of achievement. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. You can watch the next video right here, where I do a similar thing with Aldi apple juice that I make into cider. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hi, my name is Pete Rainford and you're watching Brew It Yourself. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this Asda red grape juice into a nice wine. Maybe. Oh dear. Oh man, that was a mess. How are you going to edit that? 32 minutes.